Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here filming at Radiance Skin Therapy with the beautiful Ann Hill. Thank you so much for joining us today and hosting our show. We love it here. Perfect topic for the weather because it's gorgeous out. We've got tons of sunshine. Everybody's happy.
We're dying to get outside.
Yeah, but we need to protect our skin.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Why don't you tell us how the sun contributes to aging?
Well, the sun contributes a huge amount to aging. Most of what we see as we get older, lines, wrinkles, pigment, vascular, sagging skin, kind of skin that doesn't look shiny anymore, so kind of a buildup of dead skin cells, it contributes hugely to aging. And they say, you know, it just depends on what website you're on, but it can contribute up to 80% of people's aging. And so yeah, and you know, you guys, I'm not sure about our ages here, but when I grew up, there wasn't really any sunscreen, and it was kind of promoted that we go out and get a tan and, you know, be tan.
Oil up.
Oil up, exactly, on a silver mat. And
reflectors.
Right. And so now we've really learned a lot, and it does contribute. And, you know, really, my wrinkles and lines and things like that would be totally different if I wouldn't have corrected it from all of my damage.
Wow.
So sunscreen is important if you don't want to age fast.
Well, who does?
Right.
Right?
Not many of us.
All right, so sunscreen, SPF, sun protection factor.
Yes.
Why do we need that?
Right. Well, your sun protection factor is really, that contributes to your UVB rays. So that's only taking into account your sunburn rays. It doesn't take into account the UVA rays, which really age us, contribute to the pigment, contribute to our skin cancers and things like that. So when people say, you know, I have an SPF 50, well, that's great, but that's really only telling us how long you can really be in the sun before you really need to reapply. So between a 30 and a 50, kind of insignificant. You might have a half hour more. And really they're saying SPF 50 or higher, there's no significance anymore to
They
it.
have like 100 now, don't they?
Right. And so
That
it's
could be really misleading. People
Yeah.
could think they'd put that on and they're good all day, and
Right.
that's not the case.
and
right?
it's not the case. Like if you have sunscreen on that's SPF 100, you might have an extra hour in the sun with that, and so it is kind of misleading for people.
It's not proportional, it sounds like, as it goes. So if you have 30 and 60,
60.
it's not like you get twice as much
Right.
or twice as long.
Right,
Okay.
exactly, exactly. And so it's really the ingredients that matter. So we have our sun blocks, which are zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, and then we have our chemicals. And the blocks don't allow the sun to penetrate at all. It just kind of bounces off the skin. There's no penetration. That means there's no irritation. So a lot of people say, I can't wear a sunscreen. It makes me itch. It makes me red. Then some people say, well, I don't want those chemicals in my system because there is probably a little bit of absorption.
I have heard people mention that. What do you think
Right.
about that?
Well, I think if, you know, we like either an all zinc or all zinc and titanium sunscreen. It's going to be better for you all the way around. But I think if you combine your zinc and some of your chemical in there, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think, you know, we get a lot of different things through our skin and through our system and things like that. So do I think it's harmful? No.
Maybe the lesser of two evils?
Right. Oh, totally. It's
Yeah.
way of the lesser of two evils. And so a lot of times we'll see those things combined, zinc and octisalate, some of those chemical formulations. And those I think are still really, really, really good. So you want to make sure it's UVA to UVB protection, okay? And that's what the ingredients tell us. The SPF just tells us how long we can be in the sun with that particular application. And so I tell people, whether you're wearing a 50 or whether you're wearing a 30 or whether it says 100, you reapply that sunscreen every 2 hours, because most of us, right, we say 2 hours. It gets to me maybe 2.5, maybe we're even pushing 3. And so if we kind of put that in our head every 2 hours, and we're probably then really protected throughout our day. Now, this does not mean you're coming to work and you're going to reapply your sunscreen inside at work every day, except for if you work in a window, like this particular woman, and we can zoom in on that later. But you need to be cautious of windows and driving because UVA rays come through clouds. It doesn't matter, summer or winter, you're gonna get the same UVA.
Yeah, I've heard you can get a great suntan on a cloudy day.
Yeah, totally, totally. And that's UVB, but you can get both of those rays. So you have to be careful driving, and if you're working in a window or if you're in and out, you're still getting a lot of sun. So if you go to work, put your sunscreen on, put your makeup on. Then if you're gonna leave work, and let's say you're gonna go outside and go for a walk, or make sure to reapply before you're going to do that.
And we were just chatting
How do you do
before
that,
we
though?
started filming.
Right.
Yeah, and I was feeling so proud of myself. Well, I'm like, how do people not wear sunscreen? I put mine on every morning. And then it's like, well, you need to reapply it. You know, I'm like, I thought I was good. I had no
Then
idea.
how do you do that? If so, I do too. I put on my sunscreen, I apply makeup.
Yeah.
And then that's all I do. How do you reapply your sunscreen? It's underneath.
Right,
Oh, there.
totally. You could either reapply your makeup if your makeup has sunscreen, or we have these beautiful little sunscreens that are actually a powder. So it won't show, it won't look cakey or
And it's
anything
enough.
like that.
A powder is
A
enough.
powder is enough, and especially if you're a little bit dewy, you want the powders to stick. Sometimes we recommend a spray to set it, but you can put this on, and now you have just reapplied your zinc and titanium. It's a block, and this is easy. It's easy for golfers, for anybody outside who's actively sweating, doesn't want the goop running in their
That's
eyes.
the perfect answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the perfect answer. Apply your cream and apply this as you need it throughout the day.
So we're running out of time, but people can stop into Radiance.
Yes.
So we've got these awesome powders, which
Yes.
I'm getting before
And check
I
out
leave
these
here today.
pictures.
But then you also have like the tinted moisturizer that I
Yes.
use in the morning, and I love it. It's moisturizing, and it's 45, which doesn't mean what I thought it did. but
Doesn't
before
cause
the
you to
second-
break out.
No,
Right?
it's great.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you have a lot of options.
Yes, lots of options.
All right, well, come in, visit Ann Hill at Radiant Skin Therapy and protect that skin. Thank you so much for tuning in to Girl Talk, and we'll see you next week.